Welcome back to Unraveled Game Thoughts, and I have another board game rating using my rating matrix, and this is the second game I've rated using this matrix. So the goal here, and I purposely picked a game that I thought would rank I'm going to say moderately, if I'm guessing, maybe in the 70s, somewhere around there. Based on how I feel about it. So I'm going to rank it. I'm going to kind of use this as a baseline against Brass Birmingham. So if I rank this and it comes out at 90 something, then I will know something's wrong with my matrix here. But let's get into this ranking. And as usual, if you feel that I rank things incorrectly or am ranking something too low or too high, let me know what you think. And if you're familiar with New Frontiers, then that should possibly help with comments. New Frontiers, if you're not familiar with it, is basically a reskinning of Puerto Rico from, I can't remember what year Puerto Rico came out. But this is the same game for all intents and purposes. I think there were a few tweaks worked out, so it's slightly better than Puerto Rico. I've played Puerto Rico. I actually like this one better than Puerto Rico, but it's the same concept with a different with a race for the galaxy theme. Puerto Rico also uses kind of almost a market resource sort of management, whereas in this one you're settling colonies and trying to accrue either points through getting colonies, points through your developments, or points through, I think it's not battle, I'm not thinking of the right word, power, conquering, military, gotcha. So those are kind of your primary point modalities, and I'll just leave it at that and jump into it. So art, visual, and I might spin around here every once in a while and just look at the box, but I would say the art is okay. I wouldn't give it no points. It's a little bit appealing. I'll give it half points. Definitely can't give it full. I don't think it warrants 3/4 points. It's not terrible. It's pretty. It's I would say a tick above average, but not much. So I'll give that half points. Components are reasonably good. A little plasticky. They're kind of chunky. I don't know if I'd call them pleasurable. They're just chunky. They're just chunky components. They could be smaller. I definitely wouldn't give components full points, but the boards are pretty thick. The discs are pretty thick. Everything's large in the game. I'm not sure why it's so large, but it is. I would probably, do I even think 3/4 points? I'd probably give half points. Honestly, I think if they did make components out of the same exact stuff but made it smaller, I would probably enjoy that more, because the box, I'm going to give 1/4 points on the box. It's not flimsy, but it's huge. And I realize it's huge because it's got to hold those huge boards, but that's because the components are so big. And I don't think they have to be that big. It's like they were trying to make a board game or components for people that are having trouble with seeing or something, which is fine, but it's just a huge box. It's the most awkward box on my shelf. It just takes up so much space. If there was a reason, I enjoyed the game enough, I don't think I'd get rid of it, but if there was a reason to get rid of it, it's like it just clears up a weird awkward space on my shelf. So that is the box. And in art design, how the game works, how the design works to help you with understanding the game. There's some pretty good iconography on there. Trying to think what how good is that design? I mean, it's definitely not a full point. I don't know that it's it's not bad though. The way they have it set up, it makes it pretty, especially when you know how to play, it makes it pretty easy to understand and get into it. I'll probably give 3/4 points on that one. That one's not bad. Other stuff, there's no extras, so no points on that. Thematics, the rules and the art. I'd say the rules are decent, but I think there's at least one thing in there that I was looking for and had to double check a few times because it wasn't spelled out, and I don't think the rules are laid out in the best way possible. I'd probably give them half points on that. The story is fine, set in the Race for the Galaxy universe. What's my detailed background story to explain purpose of the game in a color? Well, it's skinned on. I'll give 3/4 points for that. That's fine. Simulation. It simulates nothing. It's just an abstract point chase. So can't give it anything for that. Tightness. Reasonably close regardless of strategy. I'd say it's a pretty tight game. I don't know the player count at which it plays better, and it would be interesting to see if you have a 4 or 5 player game. Are the players that go for the same thing, are they just out? There's just no way that they can win if they end up chasing after the same end game goal. I'm going to go 3/4 points for now, and then it could change later, possibly. Variability. Each game's different. There's 1 to 2. I'd say component variability is probably where it falls. It's not the most variable game. I enjoy replaying it, but I wouldn't say it's because of variability. It's variable enough, so I'd give it the half points, but probably no more than that. Length is it's about right. Does it feel too long or too short? It's about right. I give length full points. I think that's fine. Draw, how much do I feel like playing it? I do feel drawn to this one more than sometimes. It's kind of, it's almost when I'm in the mood. Twice in a row and enjoy getting it to the table every time. Good for play, about 9% of the time I might play it twice once in a while. Yeah, this is probably half points. I'd give half points for that. Okay, going on to, did I do thematics? I missed it that last game I did. Okay. Strategy, the balance. Well, there's really only 1 to 2. There's, one clear path to victory and a first player to it wins every time. I would say 1 to 2 strategies better than others. Yeah, basically racing for whichever of those 3 options are going to get you there the fastest. That's going to be your best strategy. And then you're up to luck of the draw to some degree with equally skilled players. I would probably say R&D 1/4 points because that's going to make a huge difference what you draw out of the bag. You could say you could mitigate a little bit, but I think mitigation is, if you're chasing your strategy and you have to go hard and fast, then you're not going to spend a lot of time mitigating. And if you're spending a lot of time mitigating, you're probably not going to win the game. So I probably say R&D impacts it a little more than it should. Competitive game, random luck is swinging the game a little too much. Overall game in an unintentional manner, but remains fun. So yeah, I'd say 1/4 points is fair. How much thoughtfulness does it take? It does take some measure of thoughtfulness. You're not going to randomly win the game. Is it? Might be 50-50 choices. No, I'd probably have to go 3/4 on that because there are some turns in the game where you probably just have a couple of choices and it's 50-50. It's not that hard. So I think I have to go half on that one. I think I just have to. Adaptability. How much can you adapt and make adjustments during the game? Obvious turn-to-turn choices, limited variability, mostly erase for obvious choices. I would say this is probably going to be a 1/4. I'll give it 1/4 points. I don't think there's a whole lot of adapting in the game. Maybe choices half, as choices must follow a somewhat linear path for victory to be achieved, and once a strategy is thwarted, comeback is tough. I'd go half on that. I'd go half. I feel like that's fair. I think if it was the quarter, maybe I wouldn't like it quite as much. So it feels. I'll go half. Okay, social interaction, action impact. Player actions impact other players. You have to pay. I don't know. You do have to pay attention to what other players are doing in a competitive game, because you can chase after your strategy, but there are going to be some opportunities that you might just want to mess somebody else's strategy up if it's really competitive. Now, I wouldn't say that's a lot. I'd say it's mostly multiplayer solitaire. Some player interaction is required. I would 3/4 mild player interaction, but mostly multiplayer. Yeah, it's probably half on that. I'd probably go that way. Collaboration. Well, given the fact that someone picks an action and then everybody has to follow, and you're watching everybody's what other people are doing, I probably have to go 3/4 on that, and I'll probably go 3/4 there, because each action, everyone follows the same action. You just get a little bonus for being the first player to it. So that bumps it a little bit. I'm going to give that 3/4 on both. So ease of play. Ease of play. How easy? I would say relatively easy to teach. I can probably teach this in under 10 minutes. Yeah, I'd say that is probably reasonable. I may have to see how it works out the next time we play. I don't know. No, let's go with 3/4. I don't think I can do it in under 10. Probably take me 15. All right, the symbols are pretty intuitive. They do help to teach and facilitate. Mechanics, pretty easy. They flow well through the game. I did feel like that's one of the things I liked about the game. It just had nice, solid mechanics. Symbology was pretty good. Rules are reasonable, with a few kind of take some work to get through. Intuitive. Play the game with understanding fairly quickly. I would say experienced players can engage quickly. I don't know if it'd be totally intuitive right out of the gate, but I'd go 3/4. Setup and prep. Actually, I'm thinking about this intuitive piece. That's the way everything's designed. I might have to go ahead and go full points on that. Sorry, not rules. On intuitive. And setup and prep that's probably in 3/4. It really doesn't take too long, but because the pieces are so big and you have to do some sorting for player count, actually, I might give it full points for that. Delight. Conversation. Does it generate much conversation? I don't think so. It's probably half points. I don't even know if I'd give it half points. I'd go half points on that. You do get a sense of progression. That's pretty clear. Is it satisfying? I wouldn't say the progression is quite as satisfying as the full points. It's not bad if you do it well, but it's probably not that high-end satisfaction. Broad scope. Where does this fit in my thing? How did I do these? Okay, a good game. I don't want to trade, but not my first choice. So that's probably about right. Originality. Oh no, it gets no points for originality. It was a reskinning of a game, so pretty much the same stuff, the different skin. Upgrades. I don't have any upgrades, so we're gonna go boom, and I have no desire to upgrade this game. I have no plans to upgrade, and none are available. Okay. Upgrade this game. I don't know. I'd have to look at the I'll tell you what, this is what I'll do. I will go over here to Top Shelf Gamer, and we'll take a look at upgrades by game and see if New Frontiers is on here, and see if whatever catches my eye would be worth an upgrade maybe sometime down the road. Is it even there? There is no, I don't see anything for New Frontiers. We could punch it in and see New Frontiers. There's nothing there. Yeah, I'm gonna say there's no upgrades and no planned upgrades. So this game scores a 62.1. I don't feel too bad about that. That's a little lower than I thought, but I think let's go to BGG and see what the ratings. Let's see if we can find that. I think the 62.1 probably falls in the realm of what I was looking for. We'll see after I've gotten a few others rated how that turns out, but that's taking a while to load. So that's New Frontiers. Let me know what you think. Did that seem like a fair rating? Does that seem to fall in the ballpark of how you would rate this game? Do you think I maybe gave it too many points or too few points somewhere? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for joining me today with Unraveled Game Thoughts, and have a great weekend.